So it started to record?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Hari. I'm here on this wonderful Monday morning and I'm trying to experience virtual reality. And we have two different headsets in front of me, and I'm wearing the first one right now. We are in Sydney, UNSW, and I'm wearing Apple Vision Pro. And right in front of me I can see like the orientation screen where it asks me to press the button on crown in the crown on my head. Can we start? Awesome. I can feel this button that is on my right side temple, and I press it for it to start. I see digital hands and I see my hands get oriented right on top of that. Just told me that my hands are set up.
Just move it up on your face a little bit.
Oh. It says move Apple Vision Pro up. It's a little hard to read, but it says look at the dot and tap your fingers together to select it. Looking at the dot, select. I see multiple dots. I see all the dots reacting to my eyes, and I orient it. I see all these dots and I'm orienting all of them one at a time. Ooh, that was a little too bright. I feel like it's trying to adjust for my eyes. Oh, I keep missing after like 4 or 5 dots. My eye setup seems to be complete.
No.
Say without continuing.
Yeah.
So it has 3 things. Which one do you?
You can go and exit this. Just underneath the window, there's a small X at the circle at the bottom. Look at that and pinch your finger. Yeah. Go ahead and do trip first.
Okay, I see trip and I look at it and I pinch my finger and I enter a space and all of my environment has completely disappeared. I wonder how much space I have in the real world to move around. There's a bright light in front of me with a bunch of menu and my hands are overlaid on top of it. I feel like there's a big sky in front of me and I have a menu in front. This is a little overwhelming to understand where I start and where I finish. This looks like a meditation app. Home, Explore, and Cocoa. Any recommendations on which ones I would
Sure.
choose?
Just go ahead and look at the focus and pinch your finger.
I choose focus.
And daily focus is fine. You just follow the steps from there.
Understood. It's kind of not like a normative experience. When I normally use a mouse to click on something, I'm positioning myself to where I'm going to click, but I go back to check what I'm going to click. And I click it, but not looking at the button. But here I'm forced to look at what I'm going to click, which is a little scary because I'm losing the sense of my peripheral while I'm making a decision instead of looking at the entire picture. Voice guidance, none, less, more. I think I should have a little bit of voice guidance. Begin trip. Whenever the screen goes completely dark, I am able to see the humans in my field of view. But not clearly, not enough to distract me, but just enough for me to feel that there's someone there. I do see a little bit of light bleed from the real world into my experience, but it's not distracting. But it's something that when you're wearing your glasses, that's something that you would notice, like in your peripheral, but probably 5 or 10% of that. Not so distracting. I feel peaceful in the moment it takes to load and log in your mode. Select the number 0 to 10 that best represents your current mode. Let's go for 8. Next. And content. I see emotions and words, and I see things I can choose for how I feel. I think this is enough. Hmm. I hear a voice that is quite close to me, like I'm in a cave right now. Like a glowworm cave, but it's a very big dome. I'm in the center of it. Like light constellations emerging like from the center or from multiple points. Hmm. I get some kind of understanding of what um, my experience and my guided experience is. The light in front of me has taken my attention. quite an instinctual experience to ask to breathe when a flow of light flows into me and a flow of light flows out, intending for when I need to breathe. It's guided. I am experiencing an overlap, but it's not sensing my breath flow. It's assessing, it's just going in its predetermined flow of design. There's a guiding cursor that asks me to look into the light, but I can look at it, but having my eyes away. It takes some time to get oriented. I've ascended from the ground. I feel a little weak in my legs, like I've reached some height. I feel like I'm floating in space. Now I'm in some form of a path. I have a cursor with a trail, but the cursor is not my eyes, but my head. So I can orient it. There are big circles that I can see, polygons that, ooh. I just crashed into one of the meteors. Looks like I'm supposed to avoid them by moving my head away. Little less fast for my liking. There are gold coins that I think if I can touch, gives me points. I feel a little not sure how my environment is functioning at this point. Not sure if there's a way I can quickly check it. Oh, when these asteroids are flying under my legs, I have a feeling to avoid it by moving away from it. Those asteroids did make some effort to move away from my general direction of my body, but still it does cause some anxiety if they're going to walk into me. The experience right now has become a little more colorful, similar to an experience that is what someone who is having an altered experience using drug altering chemicals would have. I feel like when I talk, part of my voice is not there. Like this, I feel like I would be hearing my voice a little differently because of my headset being in front of my face, where normally would just go over it. But it is not now. The experience is hyper centered towards a specific direction, and I have very less control over which direction I go, but a lot of control over some of the things that do not have direct impact. I see a lot of balls that have pictures that are turning around as I move my head. Probably the gyroscopic centers are connected to the photos and the balls. A very ethereal alien world with alien nature, with a bright light in front of me. I was just asked to be mindful of my experience and my intention for the rest of the day before I could spend a moment to process that. I was thrown like a box that asked me to log in my mood right after. Would have been a 10, but now it was a 9. I just looked at safe, clicked it, but looked at something else before my fingers touched. Feel like the same eye-hand coordination issues I might have playing table tennis, which is a quite fast of a sport. I might miss things in like a short time span. Still carries over here. Quite a complete experience. I feel some satisfaction in this experience. I think I've done with one app. Do you think I should be able to do the second one now?
Just on the lower right-hand side of the circles on the bottom is one that says quit app. Go ahead and select that one, yeah. And then yep. Go
Okay.
and select jig space. Jig, yeah. And then the human heart. Just look at it. And then look on the floor, and it'll ask you to place the object in your space. And just click your fingers where you want to put it. But you want to look probably down at your feet.
Yeah, I was just wondering if I can move because Blackmagics don't have autofocus unless you set them to have them. Can I move back a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, I think I would go back about 1.5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, does it work?
Yeah. Well, just go and place it at your floor. At your feet should be fine. Yeah, right there's good. There it is. Use 2 hands to move it. You can just pinch your fingers, bring it. There you go.
Oh.
And you can bring it closer or further away to you.
I would ideally want to interact with it directly, then I would want to interact with it by orienting it in other ways. not a complex way to go about it, but hmm. I'm not too sure if it's my self-awareness of feeling my head a lot, but I do feel like I want to itch my head more. I just move slightly. I was just asked to move the thing. I think the heart is a great organ. I think it will be better if we make it too big for us to go inside. Yes. The heart right now is quite big. I am quite literally inside a model heart. I think I have a little less room to move around, so I think I'm going to move the heart around me.
Yeah.
Try to see
Harry,
through
I'm just going to pause just for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stop you there for a minute. So I'm just wondering if you could, instead of commenting on what you're doing, tell us more about how you're feeling.
Okay.
I feel this, I feel this, you know. So,
Yeah.
because at the moment there's a lot of commenting on I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but we
Mhm.
want to really know what the experience is, how it's making you feel.
Gotcha.
Okay, thanks. Sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
Is it too hard to come a bit forward? Because the mic, I haven't
You're
moved the
talking
mic.
quite softly.
Yeah, and you're talking quite softly.
Do you think we can move the mic a little bit?
We could.
Because
as long
if
as
I
you don't
move
come
any further,
forward
I
then.
wouldn't.
Are you able to increase your voice slightly?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
It's pretty quiet, so it's hard to pick up.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Just for the transcription.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thank you.
Okay.
I feel a little bit of anxiety to navigate myself around the heart. It's quite the mental exercise to keep my excitement up while I'm trying to visualize. Ooh, I wonder how I can interact with this. I'm curious now. Okay, let's make it small. Yes. Oh, I'm unsure where my hand is. I'm feeling a little bit of confusion on how, if I'm able to move it back. Oh, so quite frustrating to get this to be orienting itself. Oh, I feel I'm holding the heart a little too hard with my fingers. Well, it doesn't really require any amount of strength, it's just orientation. But I do feel like my frustration carries over to how heavy and strong I'm holding my fingers. I'm a little curious about the different pieces by which the heart is made. Is Is it easier for me if I just move smaller pieces? Hmm. I was a little confused when I couldn't catch it and move. I'm actually wondering how much energy it might take for me to put it back without having some form of auto clicking system. I would like to try that out. Hmm. Can I move with two pieces? Oh, that changes the scale. Ah, quite an interesting way to design this. So I look at something I can move. I'm quite confused as to how I can do this. Yeah. I look at something, I can move it. A sense of satisfaction when I figure a few things out makes it all the worth of effort that I'm putting at this. Okay, I've understood one more thing, which is where I hold and how I flip it and where I look has a pivot point of design, pivot point of movement for this. I'm not sure if that's how it'll work though. Yes. Let's call it a good position. I just saw the red color shift when I look at it. I'm curious if that means anything. Oh, I was not expecting that. Okay, I'll leave the chicken. Oh, the chicken like flew. Where did it go? Oh, there's a reflection here that I have not been orienting for. I think the headset is trying to understand that as well. I wonder if it's just because of the design of how it's not a thing that they've overcome, or makes me want to avoid it all altogether. Okay. Somehow I automatically put it all together. If I specifically touch another finger, oh, the satisfaction of figuring things out without reading the menu. There's a plaque buildup in the heart valve. So anytime I remove the plaque away, and okay, so this is a step-by-step understanding of probably how a balloon is set up inside the heart, and I just figured out that there's a build-up in one of the arteries or veins. I'm wondering if I'm hearing heartbeats or if I'm imagining it. I'm not sure if in another environment it would be clear that I'm hearing something or not. Because once in a while I do hear my own blood pump around my body. Middle finger to the thumb is the next step. So I move this too. Balloon looks nice and I just figured out long touch with your middle finger goes to the next step. And that's the stent. I'm confused as to how I have to consistently reorient myself and the object itself. Oh, that feels good. That feels worth all the effort to see blood going through your system. Oh, left hand middle finger is previous steps. Can go all the way back now. Feel a great amount of satisfaction in understanding how probably a balloon is put into a person's heart. Quite an interesting thing to do to a human to keep them alive. I actually wonder what other things I can explore in like a virtual environment. And back to where we started. And the dot. The sense of completion while I'm doing partly exploration of how my body interacts with the digital environment, and learning something. Could be this information I already knew partially, but I've not seen it up close to this scale. Was both confusing, but I was a little stuck to my floor because I wasn't too sure how much I could move. But was quite a interesting experience. I wonder how others would feel, or I wonder how I would function around multiple people wearing headsets, because I don't want to be head bumping people, so it makes me feel a little anxious, but exceptionally curious to look at other things and keep operating. Quite a sense of satisfaction that I have, and kind of content than more than in a meditation app. Quite a satisfying experience. Yeah, I think we have it.